What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another podcast. I have my second cousin-in-law, I believe, who
Something like that.
something like that, who is on the podcast with me. And I remember this person when I would talk to you, Manuel, about your job, and when you used to tell me about your job in downtown San Francisco, off Montgomery BART station, and I thought it was interesting what you did. Then all of a sudden, I think on your social media, I noticed you were doing acting. And whenever I
Yeah.
saw you or whenever I messaged you, I said, I want to know your story. How is it? I just find it very intriguing. And we
Sure.
finally get to, or I finally get to ask you questions and learn kind of what that
Oh,
transition's like. So I'm being a little selfish with this podcast. I'm just personally curious myself. So this is my third guest, Manuel Camacho. What's up, man?
hey, man. Good to be here.
So I wanted to know what's like your story from transitioning from the job into acting, and kind of tell us what you're working on now.
Okay, well, I guess acting was kind of always in the back of my mind. I didn't really, like most people, I didn't really think of it as like a viable career option. And even now, almost all the actors I meet up here in the Bay, they usually have some sort of like what you would call a regular job, survival job. I still have like a regular job too. I work in Daly City for an engineer, and that's kind of what I do normally. But that job allows me a lot of flexibility, thank goodness, and it kind of allows me to do just things I like doing. And so a couple of years ago, I think I found out through maybe social media, or I don't know, maybe it might have even been a Facebook ad or something. There was this organization called Movie Making Throughout the Bay, and it was based in Rodeo, California, which is really close to where I live. I live in Hercules, and what they do is they kind of, you kind of go to this kind of this gathering place, the studio, a bunch of actors together, along with some directors. You get split up into teams, and you end up just taking the day, making like a pretty short film, like about 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so. And so, I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice hobby. But I mean, through that, like I met a lot of like just kind of people who were like actually getting paid to act, and they were on shows. They weren't like starring roles or anything, but they were like, like on productions that I've heard of. And I was like, okay, so through them, I was kind of able to like, learn a bit more about the process it takes to like get into a production in the Bay Area. And slowly but surely, like I kind of like ended up building a resume for myself in acting. So that's kind of how it started. So through movie making throughout the Bay, and once 13 Reasons Why came around, that big Netflix show, it filmed in Vallejo for much of its production, and I was able to get on that, and you just keep rolling, you just keep meeting new people, making new connections. And I think a lot of what it takes to like just work as an actor in the Bay Area is just kind of like just meeting people, and it's just the regular old hustle looking for jobs. So
That's pretty neat. So you got your day job, and then you
yeah.
found this group. You decided to get in. You've always had
Mhm.
an interest in acting, and then all of a sudden, from that group, the momentum started building from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much how it started. I think
Yeah. Do you have
so.
like what's your bigger picture goal? Like, where do you see
I
yourself
mean,
like
quite
headed?
honestly, I'm a dad. I mean, I'm it's not like something. It's not like I can just move to LA. I mean,
It's like,
really
see,
really
I'm
want to
going to
like
LA.
move down to LA, or like some kind of big hotbed of movie film production. The Bay Area, like they do have productions up here, but it's not something I think you can really make a full-time job out of. Right now, I think of my kids. My kids are like, I have two kids. They're 2 and 4, so they're pretty young, and I've got to be there for them. hey, maybe once they're out of the house or something, I can make more of a go at it. But I'm perfectly happy just doing my thing right now. So
Yeah, yeah, and 2 and 4, I feel like that's a tough age.
yeah,
And when I do see them at our family parties, they're pretty active too. So I could see you just with a day
yeah,
job, acting, taking care of them too. Man, yeah, you have a full-time schedule.
yeah.
Could you tell me? So it sounds like you're kind of doing the acting for fun. If it goes big, it goes big. But for now, it's just fulfilling your just passion or interest in it. Could you tell me about your first, I guess, acting job and how it was?
Okay. Let's see. So I do believe my first acting job was I think I was an extra. I think I was an extra on 13 Reasons Why. And I've been on that show so much, I can't quite remember what I was doing. I mean, they have you doing stuff like walking down the street or sitting in a cafe or something like that. And it's the novelty of it kind of wears off after a while. At first you're like, oh yeah, I'm on this show on Netflix,
Right,
and
right. Check me out. I'm on here.
but yeah, you keep doing it, and it does become. I mean, it does become like actual work. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of sitting around. If you get bored easily, you know, working on a big production is not for you, because honestly, what happens is they kind of gather all the people who are signed up as extras on that day, and they kind of like put them in this little kind of area. It's called holding. It's usually like some room or with like some chairs and like some snacks. And I mean, you could be in there, for a couple of minutes. You could be in there for like hours, just like sitting around waiting for something to happen. And so you end up. So if you're not like a social person, or you don't have like a book or something to keep you occupied, I mean, it can be pretty slow. And like, back in the day, I would probably take extra work just for free, just for the novelty of, being on a show. But now that I know what it takes, I wouldn't do like extra work for free. I would do a speaking role for free if it was a role I really liked. But
Right, where you have a line or
yeah, we have,
dialogue.
I have some lines or some FaceTime. But if you just want me to be in like a background actor, like, oh, you gotta pay me something, man. So
Oh, so it was because I know, and 13 Reasons Why. That's a show on Netflix, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I know it's like pretty popular, and I think Christine, our cousin Christine, I think
yeah.
she was trying to be an extra on there too, and she's been
Oh,
on
really?
extras. Yeah, she's been on like music video extras for like One Republic,
Yeah,
and she would tell me about how she would wait. Hopefully, she would get in. Once she's an extra, she's pretty much
yeah,
just standing in the background, waiting for them to tell her what to do. I'm
yeah,
not sure if
yeah,
she got paid, or I think she just got like a free T-shirt or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes they'll pay you like promotional stuff, or they'll say, oh, they'll have like free food or something. But yeah,
yeah,
I need some money, dude. If I'm gonna be on for 10 hours, because it takes a while. It takes a while.
yeah. But that kind of the 13 Reasons Why, you being an extra was you dipping your toe in the pool.
Sure,
Then when was
sure.
your first acting gig where you did have a line, or you had a more major part in front of the camera?
So that was actually movie making throughout the Bay. So I call it MMTB, and so that was actually like my first, like, I was on camera and I had like lines. But the thing with movie making throughout the Bay, you have to like pay to get in, So you're basically paying for a speaking role, and which is fine. I think I can use that to like build up some examples of my acting and stuff. But ultimately, you wanna get paid, right? You don't wanna pay to do something. So I think it's for people who like wanna at least try it, or like kind of get some idea of like what being on a set is like, having lines and like having like all the lights and the camera on you. It's a pretty worthwhile endeavor.
Right. So is it like a membership group?
It's not like a membership group. They hold like filmmaking events, like maybe, I don't know, once or twice a month, and then you pay like, I don't know what it costs anymore, but it's around like $50, I guess. And then you kind of gather at this central location. Sometimes it's held in San Jose, sometimes it's held in San Francisco, sometimes it's held in Rodeo. And yeah, you say if you're an actor, or or maybe you want to be like a production assistant, or a director, or someone who like holds like the boom mic.
Right.
People do that too. And so
Also,
yeah,
not just acting; it could be
yeah,
any part of the production.
yeah. It's basically people who kind of want to learn to like make a film. So it's pretty helpful.
That's pretty cool. What was I want to ask this? Do you have a story of a character you had to play that you would say was very challenging or something like memorable that you'll never forget?
Um,
Whether it's being a fireman and and I did see your social media posts about that and how they're
oh
using
yeah,
you as
that
as a
was
piece of
amazing.
meat.
That's modeling. So that's like a whole other thing that I've gotten into. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. I do see some of your Instagram posts about modeling too.
yeah, so that's another thing. Like challenging roles. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really like had a whole bunch of those. Usually like let's see, I've played like
You did
a
one where you had a fight scene, right?
yeah, yeah. I played like I didn't have any lines in that. Like I was just like fight. I was just like fighting, fighting some other dude, and we like choreographed the thing on the spot.
Oh, really? You guys
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's like WWE, like, all right, you do this, I'll do this.
It was basically like, well, I approached the director. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of have like a little bit of a martial arts background, and he was like, okay, that's fine. And then I got paired up with the other actor, and the other actor kind of just like kind of told me what to do, and I was like, punch here, do this, and we got something out of it. So
Was that pretty difficult or no? Not too bad.
that was well, it was difficult only because like I don't. It was like I was like on the ground for a lot of it. We were like in some sort of like industrial garage, like just like fighting and wrestling, and it was really dirty. And they like put like ketchup on my hands to like simulate blood, and so like the ketchup got everywhere. Pretty sticky. And,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was interesting, but I don't know if I want to do that again.
Do you have like a genre that you're really interested in playing, whether it's comedy, action, horror, um, either one of
I've
those?
thought about like kind of like dream dream roles, and I'm honestly not like too like serious about it. Like I would love to be like, if it's a movie, like being like a Star Wars movie. If it's like
Ooh.
if it's like a TV series, I would have loved to be like in Lost, or
Ooh,
like
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, if it was like an animated show, I would totally love to play Batman, even though I don't quite have. But yeah, yeah. So I mean, right now I don't. I wouldn't say I take my craft like super like seriously, but I just like to have fun with it beyond like something really entertaining and fun.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned the modeling thing. Where did that come in?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, you know, I just kind of feel like with so basically I'm an art model, and so I just kind of feel like in like American society, there's a very like kind of I don't even know how to describe it, like this kind of almost like fear or disgust with like the human body.
Right,
And
right.
but, like, that's I've never
This kind of
personally,
taboo on it or something.
yeah, yeah, and
Put your shirt back on. Yeah.
I've never personally felt that really, if even back when I was a kid. And so one of the actresses like I met, throughout my little journey, I eventually found out that she would do this sometimes. She would model for art classes. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. And how much do you make? And she told me, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good money. And so she kind of like got me connected with like some like art teachers around the Bay. I went to a drawing session and kind of observed to see how it went. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. I could totally do this. And so like I just started doing it. And like what's funny is most figure models are like women. So if you're a man willing to do it, you're actually like in high demand.
Interesting.
So like
yeah, you're getting all the jobs.
Hear stuff down. Yeah. So I mean, that's not really like what I love doing, but it's also like a pretty well paying gig for like a couple hours, and you help, and you're helping people like learn to be artists. Like one of the coolest one of the coolest jobs I did was I worked for this very famous entertainment company in the Bay, very famous for their computer animated films, and I would have never have been set foot in that place if it wasn't for the figure modeling job. So
that's really awesome. I think on one of your posts on Instagram, you mentioned how you had to stand still for like a long amount of time.
Yeah. So how it usually goes is, if you take a long pose, you're gonna stand there for like 20 minutes or so, and you just have to just hold it. So you want to take something that's pretty simple. You don't want like your hands up.
Yeah.
Or you don't want.
It's like do this handstand for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So
okay, no problem.
So that's why like even something like Michelangelo's David, just like the statue, like holding that, whatever he's holding, like some sort of cloth or something.
Right.
Just even that, like the blood is gonna like kind of rush out of your hand eventually if you're just like sitting there doing it. So you do it like for 20 minutes at a time, and you get like a break, and then you come back and you find the pose again. The artist will usually help you, say, okay, you need to kind of adjust because you didn't quite get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everyone's been pretty respectful. It's kind of, it's not for everybody, but like, when you're really in that atmosphere, it's really like it's really not big of a deal.
Yeah,
so.
That's cool. And you're exploring it. If someone wanted to get into acting, what tips would you give them? And what, I guess you would say, like advice would you have for them in order to do well in it?
I'd say like number one, you don't have to be like a super like beautiful, person. I'm not like super like handsome or tall or, muscular or anything like that.
Yeah, you are a pretty Filipino Adonis, so it's okay.
Quite honestly, like a lot of jobs around here that you're going to find around here, they're going to look for like kind of normal kind of people. I mean, maybe like a little bit pretty or a little bit handsome things, but
yeah,
like if you're like perfect, if you don't, I'm saying, don't like, have like, if you don't have confidence in your looks, don't let that hold you back, because you can really still kind of at least get a few jobs.
Right, you're building my self-esteem to give this a try. So you're saying I have a chance?
Yeah, I have a chance. Yeah. I would say, get some good pictures of yourself. You don't have to pay that much money. If you're willing to like take a chance and go on Craigslist, you could probably find someone who's willing to like give you free pictures, because they're trying to hone their craft. And so you basically help each other out. They get experience shooting you, and you get like a free headshot out of it. And then once you get your headshot done, you can start applying to casting websites. There's one big casting website in the Bay Area. It's called SF Casting.
sfcasting.com.
sfcasting.com. Yeah. So you go on there, you sign up, and you make a kind of a profile for yourself. you need to be honest. You need to like tell them, hey, this is my weight and this is my height. If you bullshit them, it's not going to work, because you're going to come
have to show up in person.
Wait a minute, you're not like 180 pound, 6 foot guy. You're like 5. So yeah, I mean, there's no point in lying, really. I mean, there may be some point in lying about your age, maybe. So if you look younger than you are, yeah, you can maybe like use that.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
The secrets of the
But
business.
otherwise, like height and weight and stuff, no, just be honest about it. Have like a pretty decent picture of yourself, and based on kind of the criteria that you put, like, oh, I'm Asian, I'm 5'9", 160 pounds, whatever. I can play like between 25 and 35 years old. You'll get kind of notices in your email about jobs that are looking for people that meet that criteria. So
sfcasting.com.
Yeah. So oftentimes I'll get things like, oh, I'm just like an office worker, or a tech guy. I put on a suit and I'm just like in a boardroom or somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's pretty awesome. So it sounds like just be confident. Don't worry if you're not a 9 or a 10. Just
oh no, yeah.
6, you're fine. And just go for it. SF casting. How much of the idea of getting gigs is you also just self-promoting yourself? Or would you say all you need is at the minimum, like beginning level, is just headshots, sfcasting.com, keep applying. Yeah. That alone is enough.
So there's actually SF Casting. If you want to get on 13 Reasons Why, there's actually another site. It's called My Casting File. It's basically the same thing. But it's just a different site. I don't know why 13 Reasons Why uses that site and other productions use, but you have to kind of like get your fingers in a lot of different things. Craigslist, I know it has a bad reputation, but if you're like smart about it and you're like, and you can vet the people that you meet on there, like I've gotten some pretty decent jobs on Craigslist too. People that, and the more people that you kind of meet, you might be able to, maybe they have a project going on, and then you can kind of get on that because you know them. A lot of it is just, I think you can kind of get your foot in the door, like just getting on my casting file and SF casting. But I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, you're just, once you like build your network, there's more opportunities that.
Right. Okay. That sounds pretty cool. I was going to ask a question, but I'm kind of blanking on it. What was it related to? It was related to, darn, can't think about it. It's gone. I lost it. Sounds good though. So basically, it sounds like acting is kind of your side thing. You're doing it for fun. If it goes big, it goes big. But for now, you're just enjoying the whole process. And
yeah, quite honestly, like I can't stress about it too much. I mean, I know like there are people out there that's like it's their dream, and it's a real struggle for them. You go down to LA and things don't work out, and like how many times people's dreams have been crushed. It's a very competitive industry. There's no way around that. Everyone wants to be like on TV, and everyone wants to be like a movie star.
Yeah.
So you're going to come down there. If I go down there, like there's going to be like 10 different guys that look like me, and who are better actors, or like who actually like are a little more muscular than me or whatever. So,
yeah, I remember my question. I remember it.
Okay.
It popped up. I was wondering, how much does some like those small gigs pay?
Oh, okay. So you usually will get anywhere between, I would say usually the average is probably like 100 to 200 a day, which is not a lot, but it's, for a hobby or whatever.
Right,
or if you approach it that way,
not so bad.
Like I do, that's actually pretty good, because you're not actually spending anything. The most, I think the most I've ever made on a single job was around 500, and that was for like a big famous tech company. I did some modeling for them.
Yeah, that was a 1 day job, or
Yeah,
was
so that's like a lot. A lot of jobs are like kind of just 1 day kind of
hey,
deals.
not bad. Yeah,
Yeah, so 500 in a day, but you know, that's pretty rare. Pretty rare. So
yeah,
I would say, you know, if you can get 100 out of it, you're for like extra work. That's pretty average.
right,
Um,
right.
you know, a production like 13 Reasons Why, or like, you know, Ant-Man or Transformers came to town. I mean, they're actually not paying you that much. They're probably going to pay you around, you know, 13 or so an hour, and so it maybe you make maybe like 150, you know,
Okay.
but you get to be on Ant-Man and Transformers. So,
Hey,
so
yeah, I think part of it's like just building the resume. That's why people do it, and just
yeah,
I think a lot of times people just want to be on it just so they could say they could be on it.
yeah, totally, yeah.
I try to get casted on as an extra for a movie with Matt Damon. I forgot what it's called, Contagion,
Oh,
but
okay.
then we didn't get in. So
How was
it
like
was like,
how was the casting process?
so you all have to show up at this one place, and then we were like gonna wait in line, but then it was just like too long, and it was raining, and I just said forget it. So I
Casting
just
calls,
wanted
yeah,
to, just so I could say I was in the Matt Damon movie.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's why most people, like you were saying, have a day job or something like that while they do
Oh
this
yeah,
on the
sure.
side. Got it. Got
Uh-huh.
it. Very cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it. And I know you're gonna get back to your kids. I know you said you weren't feeling too well, so thanks for
Oh yeah,
spending time, your energy to come, just be a guest on my podcast. But yeah, now I finally got your story.
yeah. No, no problem, man. It was fun.
Very cool. And if anyone wants to find you or reach you, do you want to promote any website or social media
Oh,
handle you
sure.
have?
Yeah, my Instagram, the pitiful Instagram that it is it's Camacho Jr. So Camacho Jr. That's my Instagram. That's kind of where you'll see just all the various things I do, the modeling jobs I do, just the various roles that I play. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'll put it in the show notes and description. Camacho Jr. Instagram. Hit up Manuel if you want to see his work or DM him. So, all right, very cool. Thanks so much for this. I'm gonna wrap things up, and I'm gonna stop the recording right now.